Hello, 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 hello. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Let's do this again. Hello, welcome to the EF5. Dang. Hello, welcome to the EF5 broadcast here, crossroads of logistics in life. Yes, I know I'm not as good as my counterpart, Cole. He's not with me today. We're doing something different here. We're going one-on-one with JT, as people back in the day used to call me. That was one of my nicknames. I had JT, I had Redbone, I had Red Dog, you named it. All the sports nicknames you had back in the day. That's what we're going to. We're talking about sports, specifically related to the student athlete and all the challenges that go with it. So we have a problem today that we all need to kind of recognize that it exists with our students, our young children. It's a problem in society as a whole, but we're going to narrow it down specifically into the student athlete. And I just hope everybody sees and hears me when I'm talking to you here, because it's not how we grew up. We need to kind of get that out of the equation. Our kids are not growing up. Our lives are not living the way our parents grew up. So we have to recognize that. And what I wanted to do here was just kind of bring in a quick intro, and we have plenty of content coming from this point forward. This is falling into my new passion because I didn't realize it was my life. So I'm not talking at anybody, I'm talking with everybody. So please hear me when I'm talking with you. I'm not talking at you. We need to break down the walls that say, I'm not willing to see this. That's our first challenge, is to recognize that some form or fashion, we all deal with a version, quote unquote, of mental health, and we got to break down that stigma. So I'm coming to you vulnerable from me to you, and saying, I was that athlete growing up. I was that athlete that had that mindset, and I still today have it, but I've just figured out how to utilize that skill set through leadership, growth as a person. I fail most of the time, and I'm just trying to succeed more than I fail. And it is an extreme challenge. But anybody who has experienced any type of competition, again, everybody matters. Everybody needs to understand you're not alone. No matter what that looks like in your life, whether you played sports or not, you're not alone. So please hear me talk to you about that. You're not alone. This is a bio, again, about me, to give you an understanding of where I'm coming from and why I'm bringing this out. Short scenario, played a lot of sports, specifically baseball, was generally pretty good. You know, I was that dad that talks now like, remember back in the day I used to do all that? I kind of did some of those things. You can go back and talk to a few people that knew me back then. I was also kind of off the scale, off the charts, all over the place. From 7 years old, telling the coach to go back and sit down because I wasn't coming out of the game, because it was my game, I was going to win, I was going to pitch, to having the other coach that wanted to pick me up walk away from me. I'm 45, I think, now, so what is that, roughly 40 years ago? Something like that. 35 plus years ago, I would have been classified as an issue. I wouldn't have been recruited. I quit my high school team 3 years in a row because I didn't agree with the coach. Let's see, keep walking it out. Finally played with my high school team so I could play my senior year. By default, the coach had to play me. Let's walk that through. I walked on in college. Then let's walk that through. Ended up doing dumb stuff. Ended up failing again. I failed in a situation that put me in a DUI. Took a friend's truck, wrecked his truck. Like, I did everything you could do wrong along the way. All that process, I kept trying to fill that bucket of achievement with no fulfillment along the way. I look back now and understand my walk and where that will put me, but I want you to hear and understand from a elite athlete kind of perspective of how we look at that. We look at that we have to constantly grind it out, that we can't fail. We can't be the ones that let the team down. We can't not show up with a bad day. That's the mindset that exists from the elite athlete's perspective. And others that compete, it's a 24/7 mental loop that is constantly being battled. I thank God that I don't have to grow up in today's world, because you know what today's world brings? Failure is final. If we make a mistake today in that kid's eyes, whether it be, now it's all the way at a younger level, like 8U, 10U kind of concept. But all the kids across all the lines, hear me now. I'm speaking specifically to the realm that I grew up, the realm that I coached in, the realm that I've had a chance to be a parent in, and speaking as a leader in a business for 20 plus years that fail every day. So understand where I'm coming from. Today, in these kids' eyes, failure is final, and we need to break that stigma that is not the case. And if you are injured mentally, it's just like a concussion. We need to see that injury the way it is now coming on us, whether we want to see it or not. We have to see that. We as parents, we as coaches, we as administration, everybody needs to understand that I'm talking to you. It's your house. It's coming into your house. It's not the broken family. It's not the stereotypical situation we think it is living in. It is everywhere. It's really your coworker. It's your student next to you that's not an athlete. But again, this content's going to be specifically geared towards the realm of student athletes and the stigma attached to quote unquote mental health. For goodness sake, I wish I could find a different name. But we're going to talk more detail about that moving forward. But I thank you for spending time with us today, walking this journey through. I'm not a quote-unquote professional by 4-year degree status. I am a real-life, I guess legality terminology will say, real-life coach, because I've lived it in so many ways, and I want to bring those experiences that I've spent living it, failing through it, and see how I can help anybody else who is currently going through it to prevent people going through it in the future, and really just bring that awareness full throttle. The end goal is to prevent by educating everybody who's involved with student athletes. So again, we're going to go into major detail in future episodes, but thank you, and please share this. And there'll be plenty of places we'll be doing our part to see whatever we can do to reach you where you're at. Thank you again, and I'm out.